Hi, I'm Dan with 6Monkeys, and this is one of the most versatile welding tables you could have for your shop. Get at www.6monkeys.net, order the file, and make one for yourself. So what makes our table unique is the clamping ability. The ability to put stuff on this table and clamp down using different methods, and not only on the edges of the table, but throughout the entire table. So unlike a table that has holes in it, where you have to use proprietary tooling and the tooling is expensive, this you can use some generic things to help you clamp stuff down in different ways anywhere on the table. So I'm going to show you the different ways that, and different methods that you could use to hold stuff down. And this is our design, and seems to be working out pretty good. They're pretty popular. All right, so a couple different types of tooling we use are milling machine tooling. It's just T-slots, they're 5/8 T-slots. And we designed the tabletop to accept these. You can kind of see how they slip into place. You just put it in the square in the middle. You shift them over and they lock into place. Having this square pattern allows you more movement, more area, more selection of where to clamp things. And the way these actually work is you can slip them into a T-slot, put them in, and then you tighten the bolt to clamp stuff down. So it's pretty neat tooling. You can get the tooling pretty cheap, and it works really good for holding stuff down really tight. Another method we use is just our standard clamps. I actually get the cheap Hyper Tough ones. They work pretty good. They're better than some other brands, but they're not the high-end ones either. And to use this, super easy. They fit down inside, so you can orientate them different ways. Just clamp onto stuff. And in this T-slot square, you can get it in the middle, and you get it all sorts of different directions, all the way around. So it's pretty handy. And then our last method here is by using one of these big C-clamps. These work the same way. They fit down in the slots. You rotate them around a bit. Depending on where you are, what square you are is allow you to turn different ways, clamp different locations, and those are just super easy. Just clamp them on. So with having this entire hole pattern and the different types of clamps you can use, you're really unlimited to what you can do and where you can do it. So all of our fab files for these tables, they all have the same T-slot pattern. They're on a 6x6 center. We have a 1/4 inch option as well as a 3/8 option, and there's a half a dozen different table sizes you can choose from. And in those listings, you'll see that we put down the material, how much material you need for what. So it makes it easy for you to order the material and know how much of the material you're going to use. The part of this that you're not seeing is the underside. The underside has 6-inch thick ribs that are 12 inches on center. So every 12 inches there is a rib that runs the length as well as the width. Keeps everything really, really stout. Nothing here will bend or bow, or it's just a super, super, super stout table. We've also had some holes put on the underside where you can hang things and add attachments and just make it set up to what you need it to do. So let's take a look around at these other things that we've done to our table that you can do to yours to set it up the way you need it. So on the left side of my table, I have a loop here that holds all my clamps. It's really convenient when you're welding something or fabricating something, just to reach on the side of the table and grab your clamps, not really move away from the table. Super nice having it here. This loop bolts onto right onto the table, so we can move it around, we can do whatever we want with it. A lot of these hangers we include in the files if we have room on the material to do it. I know a lot of the bigger tables get really, really tight and close with material, and we're just not able to hang, or, you know, fit that in with it. So let's take a look at the back side of the table and what we keep over there. This is the back side of my table. I have another hanger over here that I don't have anything hanging on yet, but I also have a hanger at the end for my portaband. It's a convenient spot, keeps it up off the floor, keeps it out of the way. I also have some loop hangers just to hang up maybe a hammer, throw a hammer or something in it. I have some hangers up underneath to hold all my pipe clamps. So I got 3 different size pipe clamps up underneath, tucked up in there nice and tight. And I also have another hanger that we've put a double bend in it. I just got my surfacer kind of wedged in there a little bit. So the tools that I don't really use a ton, but I like to have them close by. So they're just right on the back side of the table. Just walk around, grab it and go. So this is the front side of my table. This is where I stand and do most of my work. I have a couple of really cool things over here we've done. Down here off to the side, you can't really see it too well. We just have a little brace to keep a chop saw up off the floor. It's pretty handy keeping it there and tucked underneath the table. We also made a mount for our bench grinder. This is super handy here. It's kind of tucked back a little bit, but you know, when we're TIG welding, we got to sharpen some tungsten. The grinder's right here for us to be able just to sharpen it and keep going. Really handy. We've added our toolbox on this side, just to keep all of our small tools and little flat bars and jigs and spacers and a lot of different things in there that we use while we're fabbing stuff up and building stuff. We also keep a bin on the side over here that has some jigs and some big squaring blocks and whatnot that we can lock on the table. Super handy to have it right here. And down at the end, we have all of our T-slot tooling. We also put a bunch of these loops on this side, and that's to hold all of our welders while we're standing here welding on stuff. We don't have to just lay it up on a table and hope it doesn't flop off. We just place it in there and we're good to go. Overall, we're really happy with our 6Monkeys T-slot fab table. Served us really well. We never really planned on selling these or the files for them. We just built one for ourselves because we needed it, and posted a couple pictures, and everyone seemed to like it and wanted the files, so we made them available. They're very affordable, and doesn't matter what size you get, they're all the same price. Super happy with it. We've been running it for about 4 or 5 months now, haven't had any issues. It cleared up a lot of problems that we were having trying to hold stuff onto the table. And you can find these at www.6monkeys.net.